Man, you should have. We missed an opportunity. Instead of calling it castle, just calling it brothel fortress, and nobody's gonna know why. So Xelrog, where are we today in this magical world of Minecraft?
We're gonna go on a tour of Apocalypse Castle. We talked about it in a previous
That
build.
sounds like a pleasant place.
Yeah, it's very pleasant. It's
Yeah.
you know, inhabited by a lot of real nice migrant workers. No royalty anymore. They moved out. But,
yeah, they probably left to go to like a place with actual hills.
Yeah, we're gonna start here in Apocalypse Land, and it's a bit of a trek, so we'd better find something to talk about.
So
how's the weather?
it's raining.
Oh, imagine that. Rain in Seattle.
Yeah, there's like the streets are flooded almost.
Yeah,
Nice
I
weather
can
here
imagine.
though, like where we are now.
Yeah, we passed the Citadel, we passed King of the Hill.
And now
We're flying at about 8 times video speed.
88 miles per hour. We're gonna
Something
go back
like that.
into
Yeah,
the future.
Back to the future. We're in a DeLorean.
I kind of want to own a DeLorean.
I'm sure
but
you
know
do.
those are impractical as hell. There's a reason why the car is so rare. That's because they were actually really shitty cars.
Yeah. JAX walk to Apocalypse Castle.
JAX what? So
this gives you a really good idea of how fucking big Jaxville is.
Yes, how fucking big and empty. Plenty of investment opportunities.
Big and empty. We'll fill it eventually. And here we come to the castle. It's this is one of the very few constructs that I imported from the old world. The very old world.
The world where that got like it got destroyed, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Well,
it was nuked by an entity known only
one of these days. But for now,
Bob drowned.
This is a castle. It's
yes.
Inside are many traps, many treasures, as are inside castles. And,
yes, especially
no way
ones
to tell
that are
which is which. So
yes,
you'd better go in well armed and well prepared if you want to get anything from your ventures.
Like any good adventuring party.
Da 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 da. Indiana Jones never went to a castle, did he?
No, he did.
Temple.
It was no. He went to he went at like one scene in the third movie. He went into a German castle that was inhabited by Nazis to liberate his father, who was Sean Connery.
Because they couldn't get Russians at the time, right?
No, because the setting was World War II.
Oh, so yeah, the front
World
door
War
is
II.
usually locked, and obviously I can't show where the secret access door switch is, but
yes.
There is one, and the door swung open. I was only able to do this due to the success of my previously, phenomenally successful cow anus technology. It's served to be very practical for future uses.
Fucking cow anus. And of course, solid gold.
That's a lot of gold in the throne room.
You know what this reminds me of?
What does this remind you of?
The fucking pagan men in his castle, and just him. This is something he would have.
Maybe it was his. I mean, it's abandoned. Maybe this is the end of Far Cry 4. I haven't seen it. I wouldn't know. So let's take a
which
the
game has multiple endings.
Yeah, the 15-minute ending. The one where you just sit around for 15 minutes.
Fuck! I was gonna eventually let's play that and surprise you with it.
Nope, can't surprise me.
Fuck.
So inside this castle is a throne room and many, 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 many corridors.
A maze, if you will.
Yes, to properly emphasize how big this thing is, I built it and I still get lost in it.
Why'd you look up the 15-minute ending? What was the?
I didn't.
What's?
It was a YouTube video that I stumbled across.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
So what'd you think of it? Just stay here. I'll be right.
To complete the game. but it is completed.
Well, let's go shoot some fucking guns then.
Yeah. And now we're out on the outer wall.
Yes, don't fall or you'll die, probably.
Yeah, it is very high. Let's go to one of these towers. And up here, a little wonky on the trapdoors, but we have sniping stations in the towers. I like to send the butlers up here sometimes to man the stations, defend against the Huns. Or the goddamn Mongolians.
The great Khans.
Oh look, one of the castle workers. Slacking off, as always.
Yeah, he seems to be a bit under the weather, a bit green around the gills.
Yeah. We don't have many in here who are still alive, but, it's pretty dark. A lot of monsters spawning. All the more reason to come in well prepared.
So, if you make it to the center, do you have to fight a lich?
No. There are no liches in Minecraft, and I haven't.
I was making a reference. There's this really bullshit Dungeons and Dragons module called the.
Well, that's an interesting room. It's got red carpet. It's got anemones. Doesn't seem to be any way in though. Huh.
It seems like you could play this map in Doom if you really wanted to.
I'd start humming the Doom music, but for the life of me, I don't know it. Expecting a demon to come out of one of these around one of these corners.
Something to that effect.
Something.
Yeah, shotgun. Or maybe Wolfenstein. No, Wolfenstein. Castle Wolfenstein is a lot more thematically appropriate.
Because we were talking about Nazis?
Because we're talking about castles.
And Nazis.
Yes. Same engine, by the way, both those games.
Yeah.
And they sold the Wolfenstein. Yeah, same engine.
A lot of those engines.
Oh, hey, look, a creeper.
Yes, a creeper. Lots of guests in this castle, despite it being abandoned.
It'd be kind of rude for them to just take TNT to just blow their way through the castle.
After solving many puzzles and doing much exploring, you should eventually come to this underground bunker, which is very well hidden and contains all the anemones necessary for surviving a castle siege. You can open the bunker
if you can
doors.
Find your way down there in time.
Yeah.
You know what you did? You created a dwarf fortress fort.
A dwarf fortress fort? And
yeah, like ultra complicated with the
all
maze.
The castle traps.
Yes, lovers like that and stuff. All you need is just a sieging kobolds and a bunch of dwarfs having a tantrum spiral.
Unfortunately, that Minecraft does not have dwarves either. Yet.
Not even mithril. The closest you can get is diamond, I guess.
Yeah.
Or not mithril.
Stock up on some nice diamond
adamant
armor. That's nice of them to keep down here. And the castle defenses. So activate those and it becomes much harder to scale the walls, or well, it's very troublesome for anyone dumb enough to be walking around the perimeter in any case.
You get swept away.
Yes, you do. This is meant to be sort of it is a siege game where you pretty much you go in with nothing. You don't go in armed, and you have to acquire all your resources on site. What's the term for that? The military thing?
Like procure on site?
Yeah, that.
Yeah, like what Snake does.
Yes, that is what Snake does. And
on site or OSP or something.
You go through, you get your weapons, you get your armor, you get whatever you can find through wits and not having the misfortune to fall into traps, which are also abundant. But which, of course, I obviously can't show due to the nature of the game. Excuse me.
Yeah. Man. This would be fun to just play, like, in a deathmatch game, just siege.
Yeah.
There should be, like, more siege modes in, like, FPS games. I play a Call of Duty game where it's just like, alright, you're in this building and they're trying to infiltrate your building. Keep them out.
Yeah. So I activated the tower access down in the bunker. You need to get down there before you can get to the top, which is your goal. You know, the king is hiding out up there. There's a king in this game.
King Pagan Min?
Sure, Pagan Min is the king, and he's fully armed with diamond enchanted stuff.
I told you to stop the bus. Yes, stop the bus. Not shoot the bus.
This is a depressing chamber.
Yeah, it's probably where he keeps his political prisoners.
Yeah, this is definitely a dungeon.
Yep.
And hey, look. Examine one of the cells. It's got a bed. Uh-oh. There's no floor pad. There's no way out. Now what?
Oh, that seems to be a problem.
Well, there's gotta be a way out. Aha! Hold your breath.
And if they can't find their way out in time, they oh, I guess not. It'd be great if this entire thing was just flooded.
Yeah, that'd also make it much more complicated for me, though.
They have to hold their breath, and if they can't get out in time, they just drown trying to get out.
That would be terrifying. That'd be some Tomb Raider stuff.
Oh yeah,
and
that's a terrifying game when I was
like
a kid.
That, we go out to the sewers.
Did I mention in Tomb Raider there was like literally like a giant stone hand in a level called the Temple of Midas? If you jumped on it, Lara Croft would like turn to solid gold.
You have mentioned this, yes, and I compared it to the third Aladdin movie.
And but the thing is that it wouldn't be like just a quick process. It'd be slow and painful. Is that bits of her would like slowly turn to gold, and she would just be in obvious pain. It was a terrible way to go out.
Sounds like a fetish thing.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Room with diamond
no food, though.
Ceiling. We don't do things halfway.
This is so ostentatious.
And the kitchen, with a very large sink, and counters and ovens and all the things a kitchen needs.
Any crab rangoon in the fridge?
No. If there is, you don't want to eat it. Now, if only we had chefs.
A chef.
And finally, on the top floor, we have the king's quarters, where he lives when he's not under siege.
And
there are no doors up here. Lots of big empty archways, but when you pay a man to wipe your ass for you, there's really no such thing as privacy. So who cares? Well, now that opening wasn't there before. Perhaps it was the tower access switch.
Where the king is? Where he's hiding out during the siege?
Despite the presence of an underground bunker, the underground bunker is in fact not the safest place to be during a siege. At least not according to the king, who will go and hide in the top of the tallest tower.
What I realize is that most castles should have like escape passages just in case of a siege.
That's ominous.
So that the king just
I'm expecting
leave.
Ganondorf to be playing the organ at the top of these stairs.
What would be interesting to see if like the next Far Cry was like a Nintendo game, and like it was Ganondorf and you were playing Link, and Ganondorf was like
and he invited you to dinner, and if you waited 15 minutes, then you'd become the Ganondorf's right-hand man. I don't know. What would Link want?
Ganondorf would probably be like, fresh start.
So yeah, you hit the... He has a final line of defense. You hit the tower defense button and pop. Just like that. You better not be climbing the stairs when he hits it. Pop.
Nice.
One of these days we'll have enough people to actually play this.
Link, our featured guest of honor.
And just for quick access to the king, who has godlike powers, by the way.
Of course he has godlike powers. What does he do? He can just fly away when there's trouble.
Well, yeah, otherwise it'd be stupid to hide in the top of the tower. You wouldn't have any way to get out.
So, But like he can still be killed, right? He doesn't.
Yeah, you gotta. That's why it's important to find all the treasure, and get your buddies together and get them all the treasure, and then you gank them with all your armor and swords.
And then, or die horribly.
Yes, or die horribly. But
a horrible, horrible death.
That is Apocalypse Castle, our siege game that has yet to be played, but one day.
Much like King of the Hill.
Yeah, one day, Jack.
One day. One day in the future. Someday, this will all be inhabited. It won't have been for nothing. We can just play and live and love with everybody else.
And pagan men.
And pagan men. I mean, that fucking fortress was filled with former brothel workers. It's not like it's there. It's like a fortress that doubles as like a pleasure house for the soldiers. Though it could be.